to wrap up, we're going to look at some basic structures of the head. A lot of students come to me and freaking out. Oh my goodness, I'm so scared to do this portrait. I suck at drawing faces. The reason that you have a hard time drawing faces is because it's one of the things, it's probably the thing we have the strongest cartoon brain about. We come out of the womb. Again, it's kind of weird. My brother just had a kid like, I don't know, an hour ago while I'm recording all these lectures. 20 years from now when this lecture is still up, don't send me an email. She's born in 2020. But I'm sure as soon as that baby, whose name I don't know yet, came out of the womb, the first thing it's set to do is facial recognize, especially it's set to recognize mom's face. So we have this symmetry in face detection. That means that we're going to have the hardest time overcoming our cartoon brain when we're looking at faces. Fortunately, faces are highly structured and highly symmetrical, and if you can get past that and just see it as a set of shapes, there are very simple relationships between the shapes. So I'm going to go through some of those structures now. I'll point them out to you, and then I'll do some drawing over on the side in Photoshop to give you some warnings. The face, if you go up and down, doesn't matter what shape the head is, blocky, egg-shaped, round, those will change. But the face normally splits about in half, will get you the middle of the eyes. And this, the Greeks came up with this, so it's going to be like the ideal face is going to look like a white dude. But this structure's applied to all of us, and the reason we look like us is because we have minor variations. So when you're getting your face to get a good likeness, you try and find minor variations from this. Like for me, my eyes, one of my eyes, my right eye is a little bit lower down and closer to the front of my face. And then my ears are a little offset, which I think I've talked about before. So about halfway, then if you split the bottom half of the face in half again, that should get you about the bottom of the nose. And if you split it in half again, it should get you about the bottom or middle of the mouth, depending on the person. Maybe a third for the middle of the mouth. Depends on the person. I've got a weak jaw, so my mouth is probably in the halfway mark. The ears tend to line up with the bottom of the eyebrows, top of the ears, bottom of eyebrows, and bottom of ears and bottom of nose. Again, one of my ears is offset, so my glasses always sit funny on my head, and one of my ears is a little lower down. That's the kind of stuff you want to look for. Then on the top of the head, you have like about halfway up should be where the hairline starts, and then the hair is going to cover up a little bit more of that. Could be lower, could be like I have a really high hairline, I look like I'm going bald, so mine would be like 7/8 up there. Some of you got nice thick hair, and I'm jealous, and it's down here. Then going side to side, if you take the size of the eye and you do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the head will be about 5 eyes wide with 1 eye in the middle, 1 eye on each side. The tear ducts here tend to line up with the edge of the nose. Not always perfectly, but it's something to check. And the edge of the mouth tends to line up with the middle of the eye. So that's another thing you can check on your face. If I take the pupil and draw a line down, where does the mouth line up with that? That all pretty much holds if the head is going straight side to side. This only really works though if the head is facing straight at you or straight side to side. If you start to turn the head, then these lines that are represented as straight lines here need to turn. So if I take a head and I tilt it so that it's looking up, so it'd be like a circle for the back of the head and then the jaws coming off there. Now this midline, remember from perspective, it's going to be higher up because it's further away from us, so the top of the head's smaller. Then like the line of the nose would be on a curve. This is like from cross contour, right? This is curving around the back of the head here. And then the middle of the mouth would be here, and it would curve around like that. And then you would have like the jaw curving around and the neck plugging into it like that. Then this center line here would shift off. It's off to the side and be on a center line there. Okay, so then you would get like the nose would be covering one of the eyes probably, and you'd see up it. The eyes would be tilted, I get a lot of student drawings where they do that one eye here and one eye over here. It's like, no, that other eye's wrapped around back there. I got the eye a little bit too close, so I'm going to take that cue of where the nostril's at and then tell me, okay, that's where the eye starts. And then it's over here. The 5 eyes wide and all that just goes right out the window. Then coming down from the pupil, and if I had another pupil over here, it'd be coming down there. And so you see there's more mouth on this side and not much mouth at all, and that would be like the center of the lip. And then you would like have the chin, underside of the jaw there. Now again, if I took like this idea that the eyebrows and the eye line up and I did it straight across and the nose straight across, I'd wind up with like Mickey Mouse ears over here. So I want to see that that relationship wraps around, and then the ear would more properly be down here. And now you can see that makes a lot more sense. Okay, and that would hold if I did the head from the top, tilted, looking down. The eyes would be on that curve. The nose would be somewhere like here. The mouth would probably be partially covered by the nose. Notice how I'm not trying to do a good drawing of a face. I'm doing a structure drawing of a face. I'm just mapping it in, finding the structures. This would be a good way to start the drawing. But the ears aren't down here. The ears wrap around, and the ears are up here. And if I could see the ear on this side, it would be up here as well. And I'd see the top of the head with the hair. And then shoulders. Okay, so we need to be very aware of the fact that these lines turn as the head moves. Now, some other advice about eyes and mouths. People tend to do cartoon eyes like this, and then cartoon mouths. I call them Twizzler mouths. And the mistake they make is they have everything touch right at the corners like that. Eyes and mouths are three-dimensional things. So on an eye, you've got an eyeball, right? And then you've got a lid over it. And there's usually the bottom lid covers over it. And the lids have some thickness. And they also pinch off to the side there. And then the lashes are connected to the outside of the thickness. Then the top lid's usually on top. So this is actually a little fold that sticks out further. And then you get some kind of slope here. For some people, it's like more over here. For a lot of people, it's more here. So that's something to check out. And then the eyeball rounds out here, but the skin actually connects over there. And then you get the lid. This would be where the bag of your eye is at. And then you get the eyebrow there. So it's a more complicated relationship. And again, the lid's thick, so the eyelashes come off here. The eyelashes don't come right off the eyeball. That would be weird. Now we're looking like Stewie from Family Guy or something. Same with the mouth. The mouth, you have like the top lip. And then the mouth has to open, so there's like skin that folds back inside of the mouth. There's skin that's like ... It's in here invisibly, and then it comes out. And then that skin that like folds up in and around then tends to come back out over here a little bit, and then it goes up in and then invisibly back around. And when you open your mouth, that stretches out. So looking at how there's an offset here and here is very important. And then like, is the mouth parted or not? Be careful with teeth. Go ahead and draw this as if the mouth's open. When people draw teeth and they draw every tooth, which is being accurate, it looks a little weird and like you've got jelly beans in your mouth. So my recommendation for teeth is to at least leave the first two more disconnected and then go back. Teeth go back into your head. They're not a straight line across. Like, I mean, we should know this. If we look at a jaw from the top, the teeth go way back into the jaw. Like here's the tongue. So all of these front ones are towards you, but these ones are way back in, so they'll get a lot of shadow on them. and so then you can get that. But I wouldn't do that. That usually looks pretty bad in a drawing. And then especially for women, be careful about drawing these lines too much. If you're gonna do them, you know, they should be part of a set of shading. So for some reason it's unfair, but in drawing, men can get away with this a little bit better. Women, it will age you really quick. So you got to be careful about how you do those. If you're doing a fully shaded drawing, they need to be in there, but they should be in there softly. So that's the best advice I could give you in terms of moving forward with the portrait. But keep in touch with me about them and tell me what problems you're having, and I'll be happy to help out.